All right, let's focus in then on the agri space. In Chennai, headquartered Agri FinTech startup Samunnati announced the acquisition of Kamatan FarmTech, a farmer-centric agri supply chain platform. Let's find out a little bit more about the deal contours as well as what exactly this means for the companies. Joining in on the show right now, we've got Anil Kumar SG. He is the CEO and the founder at Samunnati. Good to have you on board. Many thanks for joining in. I understand first up that the details of the transaction haven't exactly been disclosed to the public. So can you fill us in with the contours of the deal?
Right. This is a share swap acquisition of two companies coming together. Two companies having a common mission of making markets work for smallholder farmers. And that's the announcement that we have made, Avanna.
Okay, so just tell us a little bit more about what this partnership with Samunnati as well as Kamatan really bring in terms of, for the agri SMEs and, for the small traders, etc. What exactly is it bringing to them?
Right, sure. So Samunnati is a value chain enabler in the space of agriculture with twin objectives. One, how can we increase the equilibrium of the value chains that we are engaged in by removing the working capital constraint on the demand side of the value chain, so as to make the supply side of the value chain to respond to the demand and make markets work for smallholder farmers. That's the purpose for which Samunnati exists. On the demand side, we work with the agri enterprises, and on the supply side, we work with the farmers collectivized as farmer producer organizations are called as FPOs. So both Samunnati and Kamatan have been engaged in this space of adding value to being a value chain enabler or a supply chain enabler, as they call the value chain proposition as. And the idea basically is we have been coming from the demand side of the value chain. Kamatan has been working very closely with specified supply chains with a full-fledged proposition of farmers and farmer producer organizations. And both the organizations are aligned in terms of mission, and hence we thought working together to propel both of us together as one towards our mission is the best way to go forward. Kamatan's CEO, founder is Mr. Pravesh Sharma. Mr. Pravesh Sharma has been the founding MD and CEO of Small Farmers Agri Business Consortium, or SFAC, which is the apex organization for all FPOs, and he has seen this FPO world from very close quarters. And we have been discussing. I have been getting a lot of guidance from Mr. Sharma on this entire ecosystem and in this entire sector since 2015. So we are indeed privileged that we both are coming together to leverage each other's strengths. Samunnati, as I said, comes from the value chain perspective, from the demand side towards the FPO. And as an entity, we started our operations from the peninsula with Chennai as the headquarters. Kamatan's headquarters is in Delhi, and they have been working with entities, specifically farmer producer organizations in the central India and north. So both the organizations coming together will also bring in the synergies on the geographical dimension. On the technology perspective, Samunnati has been focusing on a platform-led approach in terms of bringing buyers, sellers together, bringing Samaram, the platform for Agri-tech companies, and also Agri Elevate, which we launched on the Farmers' Day in December last year, wherein all the providers of services to farmers come together as a digital directory, whereas Kamatan has focused entirely on building the capabilities on the farmer side of technologies, apps that are required for the farmers in terms of their buying, selling, as well as for weather monitoring and reports and so on and so forth. So there are synergies at multiple levels, at an operating level, at a transaction level. But most importantly, there is a huge synergy at a mission level. And hence, we are very, very excited about this particular development.
And I understand that there's a very technology-led approach as well to this agriculture, and a lot of last-mile benefits of digitization as well are being brought. Can you elaborate a little bit more about that?
Surely. As a person who has been associated with the inclusive rural and financial space, I certainly see this particular period, the last 2 years and the next few more years, to be the Silicon Valley moment for Indian agriculture and Indian ag-tech companies. There are so many entities that are coming up from multiple dimensions with the sole purpose of solving some of the long-standing problems in the agriculture space. The timing couldn't have been better because the technology is available, the know-how is available, the markets are ripe for an intervention like this. So some of the entities like Samunnati, like Kamatan, which have had a head start in the ag-tech space and in the agri space, need to take the lead in terms of bringing the ecosystem perspective and also take many of the startups that have come in the agri startup ecosystem along with us, so that we keep the farmer as the focus, we keep the FPO as a vehicle to reach out to the farmer as focus, and bring in all the complementary services that will enable the farmers to leverage the benefits of the intervention and technology. So if all of us come together as an ecosystem, there is a huge leverage that we can bring in to focus on the smallholder farmer. In other words, we are seeing many, many individual flowers blooming. This is the time to make all these flowers a garden, and we need some gardeners, and entities are coming together to play that role, Avana.
And just give us a sense as to what has been the plan as well for the company in terms of the debt that Samunnati has raised in the past, the overall equity base, and what are the overall plans for fundraise?
Right. No, Samunnati has been operational for about 5 years of scaled existence and 6 years since inception. We operate in about 21 states. With about 54 value chains as our intervention. Last year, we have done about 2,550 crores of both financial intermediation as well as market linkages. We work with about 800 FPOs, not all being active, but overall we have about 800 FPOs that we have worked together. Similar is Kamatan in terms of both vintage as well as geographical spread. They are in about 10-11 states, and they have MOUs with about 1,000 FPOs, and at any given point in time a handful of them are indeed active. So the idea is to bring in synergies. There could be certainly overlaps, and how can we build this traction that we have had in the last few years together to go forward. And Samunnati's net worth is about little over 505 crores. We have had the privilege of getting the support from banks last year, from very many DFIs. We also have had ECB lines coming in, and some of the guarantee structures from development financial institutions. So we want to consolidate all of these, and next year would be more of what we have done last year. Focus on FPOs in their institution building and in bringing customized financial solutions to them. Focus on agri enterprises in both market linkages as well as customized working capital requirements. Our debt to equity is still little over 1.5 times. So, we have enough capital to leverage at this point in time, and very healthy pipeline of undrawn lines and new debt proposals that are under discussion.
So what are some of the challenges that you foresee within this space, and what do you believe needs to be done in order to fill up the loopholes and gaps?
Right. The biggest challenge is that there is so much to do. And having the discipline to focus on what can be done now vis-a-vis what can be done across all the segments is an important dimension. In other words, being disciplined in terms of focusing on few aspects where we can indeed bring out a meaningful difference is an important dimension that we should be focusing on as an entity. Training the FPOs is an important dimension. Bringing in good governance structures as well as qualified manpower is an important dimension that we should be focusing on, because the FPO as an entity has huge social capital that they bring to the table, but then bringing in the ability to function as an institution is a different dimension. But what we are seeing as green shoots is several of the agri management institutions like Manage in Hyderabad, NAM, NIAM in Jaipur. They all are bringing together customized course curriculum and programs in order to bring in young professionals to be in the senior leadership positions of FPOs. So the industry is responding to the requirement or the biggest challenge that the FPOs have, which is professional management. Several of the entities are also building governance structures. Digitization is the other challenge that we should be looking at for FPOs, because FPOs need to digitize their own operations in addition to digitizing their member base and so on and so forth. A lot is happening on the services space in terms of satellite imaging companies coming in, entities that provide advisory services are coming in, entities that offer quality testing at the farm gate are coming in, enabling legislations that the government has brought in. When so many things are happening, how can we bring all those things together in a meaningful proposition to the FPO is the other one that we need to focus on. So this